I think there are like I think that's a lot of, especially New Zealand, Australian culture
Super common, right?
is just get hammered.
Yeah.
Why were you different? What caused you? What was the catalyst for you to go? Wait a minute.
Well.
Why don't other people do that?
Well, this is the $1 million question, and we've talked about this many times. Like, what's the tap on the shoulder?
Yeah, we have.
For me personally, I would say that I've always been very intuitive. You know, when I was a little kid, it's like I could feel what other people were feeling, and for some reason I could see things, hear things, whatever it might be. But that sort of got clouded out through the whole craziness of what I was going through. But that one morning I woke up and I put my feet on the ground, and this is when I was living in my sister's shed. I put my feet on the ground, it was all wet. And it was all wet because that night it pissed down with rain, and all the water came down through the house and underneath the house. Everything that I owned, which was not much, was all wet. I woke up, I had bloody cigarettes, scattered everywhere, I had beer cans everywhere, and I walked into the bathroom. This was the day after, I'm sure this was the day after my sister had the thing with the guns. And that morning, I woke up and I was like, this is bullshit. I'm fucking 18 and this is what I haven't even started living yet. So check one, I didn't want to sign up for that. But then when I walked into the bathroom, and it was a fucking dingy old shitty bathroom, I walked in there, and the first thing I looked at was myself in the mirror. And for that split, yeah, I know, I get goosebumps now talking about it. For that split moment, I actually saw two things. First thing I saw was who I was being, and the second thing was I saw who I was. And that first one was like, what was the words? I was like, this is fucking disgusting, and it's almost like I feel sorry for you, me talking to my so-called self, or my identity back then. I was like, this is disgusting, and I feel sorry for you. And the second thing was this intuition, the big thing that I fucking listen to now, was like, yeah, but it doesn't have to be this way. You could change. Things could be very different. And for the first, or maybe not for the first time, but for the first time in that moment of everything going to shit, I actually listened to it. And I said, well, fuck, what do I do? What do I do? And it said, you gotta go, you gotta leave. And it wasn't the leave as in leave the planet. You gotta leave your environment, dude. You're hanging around with a bunch of bloody, rat bags. You're hanging around with a bunch of people that are not doing great things. Get out of the environment. So I literally packed up my, what I have at the time. I had a 4-drive Hilux Ute, absolute fucking gangster truck at the time.
Hunting vehicle.
Spent a lot of money on it. But yeah, I packed up that Ute, I drove into work, and I said to my boss, I'm like, look, dude, I'm out. Not even 2 weeks, like I'm leaving today. And he said, no, you're not, you're staying here. And I just burst into tears. And then he knew that was something that was very serious. He's like, PSE, he's like, you do what you need to do. I'm like, fuck, I'm out, dude. That was, how old am I now? 31. I would have been 18. It's a long time. Been back there 3 times max.
And where'd you drive to?
I drove to the Gold Coast. My parents and my sister lived on the Goldie. So I drove to the Gold Coast and I'm like, look, I don't know what I'm doing here. I haven't got that far yet, but what I do know is if I stayed at Hervey Bay, the 3 things would have happened. I don't think I ever would have killed myself, because I think that is, for me personally, I just wouldn't have done that. But I definitely might have done something by accident, driving, drinking, fucking drugs, punching on, whatever it might have been. So who knows? Or I would have hurt someone else or got locked up. So all 3 of those things, I was just like, that's not who I am. Deep down inside, that's not who I am. I'd get full of piss, I'd start crying and saying that I fucking love people. Because of the sheer fact that when I wasn't drunk, I wouldn't let my true self out.
Yeah.
That's torture.
Yeah, you had a mask on.
Yeah, well, I had lots of masks on.
And so,
yeah.
I mean, that's 12 years ago you drove here, and I know you went through personal training, you got into health and fitness.
Yeah, so look, for the first couple of years, I was still a piss wreck, but I wasn't as bad as what I was, and I wasn't hanging around in it. I'd just get drunk by myself. But still, I was very functional. I was, I finished my apprenticeship as a butcher, all that sort of stuff. Still lived a great life, but I was just someone who loved to so-called drink.